Hello, and welcome to another episode of 73 in the RGV, where we explore all things amateur radio from right here in the Rio Grande Valley, deep South Texas. Whether you are tuning in on your morning commute, while working your HF rig, or just scrolling through your podcast app, I am David, call sign Kilo India 5, Delta Oscar Golf KI5 DOG. And I'm glad you're here today. We're going to talk about something that can really turn your ham radio journey to the next level. Kick it up a notch, if you will. And we're going to talk about joining an amateur radio club. When I first got my amateur radio license, I remember feeling both excited and, well, a little lost. I could get on the air, sure, but what next? That's when I decided to take the initiative. I had already been participating on the Daily Net. And it was time to take the next step. It was time to, join a club. So I went online and looked up the local amateur radio clubs and reached out. And before I knew it, I was sitting at my first club meeting. Actually, it was a breakfast. It was pretty cool. And I will admit, I did not know anyone there. But the moment I walked in, I was greeted with smiles, call signs, and offers to help. Everybody was great. And that was the day my ham radio journey stopped being something I did alone and started being something I shared. It was something I shared, and it was a lot of fun. Now, when I joined, the group was out of McAllen. It was the McAllen group, but I had been participating in the Daily Net with the Harnage and Brownsville group. So it was one of those. So a little bit of both. So eventually, yes, I did end up joining both groups. There's a third and there's a fourth, but I'm only in those two right now. So again, it's not that difficult. You go to the website, you find them, and you get that information on how to join in. Really, it's now with technology and the internet and all of that online payment, it's really easy to join a club. But you got to take that initiative. So if you are a newly licensed ham, joining a club can open the doors that you did not know even existed. I mean, that you didn't even know they were closed because you didn't know they existed. See, clubs are where you will find several things. You're going to find mentors. Definitely. There's mentors there, great people, those that have been doing it a lot longer than you have. And those that have been there a while and know what you're going through because you just started, and they haven't forgotten that, but they can answer those tricky technical questions. Somebody's always going to give you. It's not their 2 cents; it's more like 5, 10 cents because it is valuable. I mean, even 2 cents can be valuable to no cents, right? So also, hands-on activities. You get to participate in things like field days, or antenna builds, or raising an antenna. Somebody needs some help and you got a ladder, hey, why not? And other public service events and public facing events, getting out there and meeting people, doing things. And even like the podcast, again, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast and let's talk amateur radio. So drop me a note on that one, ki5dog@yahoo.com. Oh, did I forget character? And that should be plural. That should be characters. And trust me, these groups, these clubs have lots and lots of characters, and that's what makes the ham club a lot of fun. You get to meet some really interesting people. You get to talk to them, you get to know them, and you get to see who they are, and it's really cool. It's a great group of people, but they all have that same common bond, amateur radio. Also, it's an opportunity. Whoa, sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. I hit the microphone. Sorry about that. Other opportunities to give back. Whether it's storm spotting or community events or emergency communications, you get to be part of that group. You get to do things. So we'll talk more about storm spotting and emergency comms later. But for now, we got to be a part of the group. So last thing I want you to take away from joining the club is the friendship. Don't forget that friendship. It's easy to feel isolated when your only ham contact is over the airwaves. See, a club gives you a real community. So keep that in mind and join. Now, with that being said, so how do you actually join one? Well, here's what's recommended. And here's what I did, basically. I found the clubs. I searched online, and as always, in the show notes, The links are down there to the clubs, the local clubs down here in Deep South Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Check the ARRL club directory, or listen to local nets and ask about club meetings. And usually they'll preface it because there is a section about announcements. Anybody have any announcements to make? And then people will come in and say, hey, we have a club meeting, or we're going to meet here for breakfast, that kind of thing. So keep your ears open. But again, visit the websites, check them out, search for the clubs online. You can type amateur radio clubs near me on Google. You can Google that, and there it is. You'll see them. They'll pop up. Visit a meeting. Now, you do not have to commit right away. Just show up, introduce yourself, see how it feels. Just let them, hey, I'm not a member, but I'm in the area. This is the closest one to me, and I'm thinking about joining. And trust me, join. It's a lot of fun. But even then, they'll tell you, you don't have to be a member to show up. Because most clubs welcome visitors with open arms, and they will. They will. So, again, don't feel like, oh, no, I'm not part of the group. I can't go in. That's what amateur radio is all about. We're always looking for more hams to join us. Getting involved. Volunteer for an event. Help set up a field day. Check in on the club's weekly net or daily net. See, the more involved you are, the faster you will feel at home. It took a while for me to get comfortable. And I did there for a little while. I ran a couple of nets there for a while, and that was okay. I was filling in, and then it's like, you know what? I like it. I like getting out there. And natural born speaker, as if you couldn't tell. And so I started the podcast. But again, it's one of those, you get involved and then you'll feel right at home. Then you find your niche, and that's a good thing. And of course, as always, ask questions. Everyone in a club was a new member once. So don't be shy about asking for advice or gear or recommendations or operating tips. And it's okay. It's okay. And especially being the new guy, the new person, you know, they're going to razz you a little bit. They're going to give you, because that's just part of being part of the group. But hey, don't take it bad. They were razzed. They were initiated in, and it's nothing major when you get, initiated in. They'll ask you, hey, next time we ran out of can of squelch. Can you bring it in? Can you bring us a can of squelch? So heads up with that. And I message me. I'll tell you where you can find some. You can actually order it. I have this link. And so other than that, listen, don't be shy. Get out there. Take the initiative. Take that first step. No one's going to go knocking on your door on a Saturday morning and say, hey, join our ham club. But they're going to invite you to join them for breakfast Saturday morning. So think about it. Alrighty. So if you've just gotten your license, don't let it gather dust. Don't let it just sit there. Mine's in a binder. No. Find your local club. Walk in that door. Introduce yourself. And, just say, hi, I'm David, KI5DOG. And there you go. You will be surprised at how much you learn and how many great people you're going to meet just by showing up, by being part of that group. See, amateur radio is about communication, and that starts connecting with your community. That starts with you connecting with the community. So let's get out there, and I hope this helps. If not, drop me a line. Let me know. ki5dog@yahoo.com. And if I don't know the answers, as always, I do know the people who do. I know people. Seriously, I do. Alrighty. So let's break it down. Let's get into the club updates, what's happening around here, what's going on, and again, let's continue. The information drawn from various web and social media sources is what I'm going to share with you now. Of course, it deals with upcoming events. And as always, if there is an event or project or program or testing dates on your schedule, and I do not mention it here, please feel free to drop me a note at ki5dog@yahoo.com. Now, let's get on with it. This is what's going on around the amateur radio clubs here in the Rio Grande Valley as of this recording, Sunday, August 10, 2025. So let's go visit the Rio ARC.org website, the RIOARC.org website. And right off the bat, folks, they got another balloon up, another Pico balloon. They call it Pico Balloon Serial 8. It's launched, and as of this recording, Sunday, August 10, 2025, that little balloon has been up in the air for over a week, just over a week. The small balloon, it's filled with lighter than air gas, which then lifts the balloon, and It's attached transmitter and solar power little solar panel that powers up that transmitter. It transmits from altitudes of up to 41,000 feet or 12,000 meters. Visit the RIOARC.org website for more information on this Pico balloon and what's going on. A lot of great information there. Please check it out. Speaking of checking it out, they have breakfast there. Oh, not there, but they meet someplace. They meet at Los Leones in La Feria, Texas, every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. and of course every Saturday at 8 a.m. Tejano Grill in Harlingen. So check it out. Visit the website. Their monthly club meeting, I do believe, is set for the second Tuesday of each month. So in this case, the second Tuesday of this month, as of this recording, is 2 days from now, August 12th. And they're going to be meeting at the Harlingen Irrigation District. And all that information, again, is at the RIOARC.org website. As always, members and guests are welcome and encouraged to attend all meetings, breakfast, and public events. Check it out. All right, let's move on over to the Whiskey 5 Romeo Golf Victor or the W5RGV.org website. And again, check it out. Check out their buy-sell equipment page. There's been some pretty good pieces. As of right now, I went and checked. As I'm recording this, there's nothing up for sale, but hey, that's subject to change at any moment. Also, check out the net, the Valley Information Net on the Stars Link repeater system every day at 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time every day. All amateurs are welcome to participate. And hey, the District 21 Races Net, RACES Net, monthly on the first Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central, also on the Stars Link repeater system. And so check it out also. Just listen in. If you're not a Races member, RACES member, check it out. Just listen. It's pretty interesting stuff. As of this moment, I have not heard of any upcoming testing dates. And if you are the test coordinator, please drop me a note for anything you have scheduled coming up for testing in the lower Rio Grande Valley. All right, the RGVARC.org, that's Romeo Golf Victor, Alpha Romeo Charlie, RGVARC.org website. As always, the District 3 ARRS Aries Net meets every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the Rio Link repeater system. The weekly Aries Coordination Net hosted by the Rio Grande Valley Amateur Radio Club and District 3 Aries, ARES. Simplex Sunday every Sunday. That's today. I'm recording this on Sunday, August 10, 6 p.m. You catch me on the air. I'll be there checking in every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. on frequency. Set your frequency to 146.520 megahertz. Again, that's 146.520 megahertz, which also happens to be the national simplex calling frequency in the United States for amateur radio. And the net control, you know who he is. That's Kilo Zulu 5 Delta November Alpha, KZ 5 DNA. Check it out. Tell him I said hey. Also, on Monday, which would be tomorrow, the August 11th, that's Rag Chew Monday. Also on the Rio Grande Valley Amateur Radio Club net. And so check that out. And that's Monday at 6 p.m. on the Rio Link repeater system. There we go. That's the system name. And the net control again is, that's right, Kilo Z5 Delta November Alpha. So check in there or just listen in. And breakfast every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at the Junction Cafe at the southeast corner of Business 83 and Cage Boulevard, State Highway 281 in Pharr, Texas. The Junction Cafe, an institution unto its own. No, seriously, check it out. If you've never been there, it's great food and a convenient location. The parking can be a little tricky sometimes, but it just depends what else is going on in the area. Because this cafe, the Junction Cafe, is literally at the hub of the hub city. That's what they call Pharr, the hub city. And it's right there in the center. Alrighty, let's see. Upcoming testing dates in the McAllen or Upper Valley area were not made available at the time of this recording. And as always, as soon as I get them, I'm made aware of them, I will include them here. Now, I'm talking about the Upper Valley or Hidalgo County. Now, it is just not just limited to Hidalgo County, Starr County. I've heard of people coming down from Corpus Christi to take the testing. So again, the RGVARC.org, and you would look there for any testing information for the Upper Valley and the Whiskey 5 Romeo Golf Victor, or the W5RGV.org for any information on the Lower Rio Grande Valley. Alrighty. An invitation to every technician, general, and amateur extra license holders that want to talk about their amateur radio journey and their into the hobby, getting into the hobby, about what they're doing, anything else radio related. Don't hesitate. Drop me an email. I want to have someone on the show. I want to have some guests. And we can do it real easy. You just have to respond. Don't be shy. I hear you talking in other places. Why can't you talk here? Don't be shy. Now's not the time to be shy. It's about communication, and we want to get more people in. So again, technicians, general, amateur, extra license holders, drop me an email, ki5dog@yahoo.com. And as always, a special invite to amateur radio club officers and public affairs representatives to join me on the podcast to share the latest happenings, actions, and activities, anything coming up on amateur radio in their club and what's going on. And as always, if you've got questions, we got answers. As I mentioned before, I'll say it again, I'll continue to say it. I don't have all the answers, but I definitely know the people who do. I know people. I said it before, I'll say it again. Yes, I know people. So don't hesitate. Reach out, ask. ki5dog@yahoo.com. And if I don't know the answer, I know who does. So again, thank you to everyone that's listened to the episodes on YouTube. Everybody that's subscribed on the Apple Podcast page. And those of you on YouTube, you can subscribe to it's down there in the show notes. And those of you that are listening on Apple Podcast, in the show notes is the link to the YouTube channel. So again, I've got them both places, and we're going to add a couple of new outlet sources. So be on the lookout for that. So again, don't hesitate to hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this button. Again, the share button, share it with your others that are interested in joining our community down here in the Rio Grande Valley. That want to hear about what's going on, or just somebody else's take on amateur radio in general. Folks, we're here to help, and we're here to recruit, and we're here to kind of help get more of you into our hobby. Join us. It's not a cult. I promise. It's not a cult. So lastly, if you yourself are not a licensed amateur radio operator, you can do your part by protecting the airwaves, by keeping the pirate in you at bay. Yes, radio piracy or transmission by unlicensed individuals or parties is a federal crime. It's punishable with up to fines of up to $10,000 and or imprisonment for up to 1 year, with increased penalties for subsequent violations. So it's not just one, it's multiple. Every time you key up the mic, that's a violation, folks. It's not worth it. Get licensed. Join this awesome community. We're here. I've said it before. We're going to welcome you. So join us. Don't be a pirate. Join our motley crew. And before I forget, for the next episode of the 73 and the RGV, we're going to go digital. We're going to begin a new quick series on the various digital services available to amateur radio operators. So again, something else to entice you to come on over to our side of the amateur radio band. So that's what we're going to be doing next time. We're going to begin it. We're going to talk about FT8, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now. And folks, that's it for this episode of 73 and the RGV. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep tuning in, keep learning, keep listening, and most of all, keep talking by getting on the air. I am David, KI5DOG, and until next time, I wish you 73 from the RGV.